If we didn't have the support of the local community, this dream would have died.
It's the small businesses as the acorns of future, UK industry.
Well, the help from iNet's been a godsend, really.
And we had no experience with bringing products to market. We needed that support.
Small businesses and innovation. Together they offer a bright future for our economy. The healthcare sector deals with some of the biggest issues facing society. New companies in the East Midlands are making advances in tackling illnesses, ageing and improving the quality of all our lives. Biosciences generate highly skilled and highly paid jobs and products that can be exported around the world. Achieving their potential relies on investing, informing, inspiring and innovation.
And this is the way that fetuses have been monitored for about 40 years. Our device is much smaller, it's wireless, it's wearable, and that means that you're able to monitor women not only in a hospital environment where they're able now to move around freely, but also in the home environment for particularly high-risk pregnancies where the information is sent wirelessly from this device to a mobile phone.
It's actually a lap tray or lap desk travel bag that can store products in it as well as carrying it around, like a rucksack, messenger bag, but more importantly as well, it can be attached to the front of a wheelchair, buggy or car seat.
And what it does is it creates a negative pressure over the vein with a small disposable dome. That dome is pumped by the practitioner and that increases the amount of blood in that vein.
The Alco Stick is a new product. It's a handheld meter for the detection of alcohol in blood, which is ideal for accident emergency and for doctors as well, because the situation where the patient can't actually give a breath sample for breathalyzer machine.
We have a product for gastrointestinal cancers, and we believe that we can help a lot of people have greater quality of life and a life extension if this product is able to go to market.
Each one of these companies may be different, but they all have an idea of where they're going and the kind of help they'll need to get there.
Quite a lot of money is one key thing there. And knowledge, accessing knowledge. I mean, clearly with a company of 15 people now, we need to access many different specialties, techniques, collaborators' knowledge, clinical knowledge, regulatory knowledge, market knowledge. So it's how we're able to access that. And I think that's where being part of the setup here in Biocity and with functions like iNet to help us, really helped us secure that knowledge in lots of imaginative ways.
We really need someone to bridge the gap between sort of two people who've got an idea, and for those people to be helped to work with bigger companies. So you need someone to help bridge that gap, really.
So what kind of help is available? In the East Midlands, Medilink delivers the healthcare and bioscience iNet, a team of experts who nurture start-up businesses.
What we do is we have a team of advisors who go out to companies and talk to them about their innovation projects. So anything from really the beginning of the concept right through to the commercialisation. And that's a journey there's a lot of difficulties in that journey, hurdles to overcome, but also opportunities. And of course in a small business you don't have the expertise and the knowledge that there is in a big company. So what the iNet advisors can do is help expose people to those issues they're going to face and help them find solutions to overcoming them. And also they spot opportunities by meeting other companies at our events programme, for example. Or our advisors can point out there is a university that has some technology that could be of use to them.
When you start out on these ventures, you're not a big corporate, you don't have internal large departments that have expertise in certain areas, and the barriers that we have faced have been both financial and the lack of internal expertise in certain areas, and the iNet system has allowed us, and the grant system has allowed us to access that with the funds that we had, make them stretch a long way, and we ended up getting very, very pleasing services as well.
The customer went, oh, that sounds like a good idea, and held off on placing their order when in fact the development of the product was in such early stages that them holding off on their order meant that we weren't getting the money in and we couldn't actually go any further with the project. And the iNet helped us by rushing through, really rushing through a support grant. I think it was a 5-day turnaround from the application to actually receiving a formal letter, and that helped us to fast track our development.
Well, for us, it just puts us on the map, a lot bigger, louder, however you want to describe it. Having coming from 30 years in the international pharmaceutical sector, where you almost get that as a given. When you're a small company, you need to have a profile which is disseminated around, not just to the people who are not desperate, who would really be interested, but you've got to expand your profile, and in fact through that we've had some direct contact from companies who want to distribute our products, and this of course is really helpful.
So we wouldn't be here if we didn't have the iNet and EMDA and the rest of the R&D community here in the East Midlands supporting us. BioCity is a great venue. It helps us attract the attention of good partners. For example, we're doing a collaboration effort with London Genetics, which has access to 3 of the top 10 universities in England and 3,000 individual and research investigators, and that's been invaluable for a small company like us to immediately have access to a wealth of information and a huge, well-funded body like that.
With the help of Medilink, we are in talks with Leicester University. We had an opportunity which we didn't want to miss in Eastern Europe of a very large contract, but we couldn't get it without our ISO 9001. And again, our 50% funding for the project, and it enabled us to move fast in the marketplace, because otherwise we would have lost that opportunity.
And if our economy is to prosper, helping these innovators and entrepreneurs now will pay dividends in the future.
One thing is the jobs that are created in the region, but not just in our company, all the other companies we're working with. So our phase 1 clinical trials, for example, are actually being run with a local company here in Nottingham as well. So that creates jobs and wealth for that company as well as ours. But there's also the patients, the clinical networks who get to benefit from us in this location, and also bringing in the finance. We've raised about £5 million from inception, and all that money's come into this region.
Our GVA, I think, is excellent because our gross value added for the area, both locally and nationally, can be recognised. We employ a lot of people, we've got training. We're investing in new technologies and processes, and some of them are Europe firsts, and it's good for the economy of the UK.
We are looking to grow the number of staff that we have in the company, and so it means that with AstraZeneca at the moment going through a period where it's making job losses, then we could sort of on the end of that we can actually recreate some new jobs for those people. And over the future, I see this as an exciting opportunity for the East Midlands, where we can attract scientists from all across the world and attract them to Leicester.
It's also important to look ahead to the next generation. These students are at an iNet industry event. Rubbing shoulders with scientists and entrepreneurs, they're on a programme designed by iNet to inspire them to take up careers in science.
We were going to do this debating about scientific problems, issues, and to give us a bit of a taster and a bit of excitement of what science was, we were taken to the labs where we did this DNA extraction. And then she started explaining with this PowerPoint the chemicals that she started putting in so it could unwind the DNA, and so you'd have all the chromosomes and everything.
And has all that made you excited about the idea of science and as a career perhaps?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, I already had the idea of coming to do science, which is why I came to Bioscience for all this stuff. But however, it just made me I've always been so fascinated about DNA, and just thinking that you have your DNA there and it just wants you to just find out more and look at it more and just everything, everything that's interesting. Science has got so much to offer, it's just so amazing. So.
And with so many changes in our economy, the innovators themselves are considering what they would like to see next.
I like the personal relationships we built with the people at Medilink and iNet. They've been able to advise us, help us with our strategy, put us in touch with very good suppliers and professional services, and in a way become an asset to us that we would, in a larger organisation, perhaps go see another department, but we don't have that. So, this sort of support to small and medium-sized businesses is very valuable.
Obviously, we're moving into a different political era, and one understands that change is necessary. However, there are those at EMDA who've been outstanding in recognising opportunity and supporting it in the region, and I think it would be a great shame if those developments weren't crystallised and capitalised on, so that I hope the new bodies, like for example the Local Enterprise Partnership, will work with some of the legacy organisations to make sure there's continuity within the region.
None of these companies is in any doubt about how important the help they've had has been to their business.
It's been a hell of a lot harder, it would have taken a lot longer, and we almost certainly would have missed the window of opportunity if we'd capitalised on the invention at all.
They're almost like the oasis in the desert, because they've got the network of people coming to iNet.
It wasn't a large amount of money, but it was at just the right time, a bit like someone lending you an umbrella on a rainy day.
The challenge now is to find new ways of helping these businesses. The cost of developing new ideas in biosciences can be enormous, but the rewards can be enormous too, producing the exports, jobs and wealth that'll be vital for our economy in the future.